Fitzy, how you doing? It's happy to see you again. How important is it for you to kind of just get back out there and have another start under your belt after Sunday's performance?
Yeah, I mean the best medicine for a performance like that is getting back on the practice field and getting back out there. So today was a great day for us. Just new opponent, new week, starting fresh, just getting into the preparation. But obviously, you don't want to have weeks like I had last week, and that can't happen if we're going to win football games. So just put everything I have into this week and move on. And for me, and the roller coaster I've been on, I have a easy way of putting things like that behind me and moving on.
Mike?
Ryan, I just want to ask how important it is having Devontae Parker on the field, not only because of the talent he brings, but I'm assuming his presence also opens things up for other receivers on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, we always want to have our best players out there, and he's definitely one of them for us. So, you definitely better with our best guys on the field, and just hope that he's out there, and whoever it is that's out there, nobody feels sorry for us. Nobody, on our squad is going to play any softer, or we're all going to give it all we have and try to win the game. So we'll have a plan to go out there and do just that.
Josh?
Hey, Fitz, I asked about this on Sunday, but now that you've had a chance to digest, seeing some film and everything, the incorporation of Myles Gaskin, just knowing the weapons you guys have with Jordan Howard and Matt Breida, just how does that third kind of element, with what he does in terms of breaking tackle, being elusive, bring to the table, and being able to also see him do that on the field on Sunday?
Yeah, it was fun. Myles has had a great offseason, training camp, and so it was good to see him go out there and put it together in a game and do some good things for us. I think we have a lot of talent back there in the backfield, and so those touches will get spread around. But that's a good problem for us to have, and Chan will do his best to figure out how to do it. But it's a good problem having that many talented guys in the backfield for us.
Adam?
Fitz, I'm curious, when you went back and watched the tape, were there some throws where maybe your progression didn't take you to the open guy? And do you have to kind of beat on yourself a little bit to not be reliant on Devontae, reliant on Mike, that there might be, your third guy in your progression might be the best option?
I mean, every week is different. New England's such a big man team. So a lot of times it's, who's going to win the one-on-one matchup, really. And so in a zone, when you play against a zone defense, sometimes the progression comes in a little bit more in that regard. If you're reading top down or left to right, and so, some of it was just me not making either the right throw or picking the right matchup. But just stuff that I need to get better at. And, for me, knowing that there's things that I need to do to improve, I think I can get those done, and I think we'll be in a better spot this week.
Steve?
Ryan, you talk about bouncing back and moving on. You've obviously got a lot of experience with those things. How has your ability to do that evolved over your career, and what do you see as the secret? We've all heard all the cliches, but what do you tap into on that?
Yeah, you know what it is? It's hard, though. It's one of those things. You walk into the locker room after a game when you know you didn't do your best as a quarterback and let the team down. That's hard. It's hard to face those guys. So the best thing that I've learned is just to pour everything I have into the next week of preparation, into that next game. And, there's a fine line there. There's a balance, too, because I can't sit here and put so much pressure on myself this game to go out and be perfect. But at the same time, I've got to move on from last week. I've got to do a great job of getting everybody where they're supposed to be, throwing the ball to the right spot, and doing the best we can on offense to generate some more confidence and some more rhythm. And that falls on me. But a lot of it for me is just the week of preparation, how we're doing in practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the discussions, the communication, the talk, making sure that everybody is into it and everybody knows this is a new week. But those are the type of things you really try to focus on after a bad week.
Cam?
Fitzy, what's up, man? Wanted to ask, I guess, how expansive or advanced do you feel like you were able to be with the offense, given that it was week one? Were you able to do as much of the playbook as you wanted to?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing with Chan and, the way that this system works is it's really, you try to figure out each week the best way to attack a defense. And, he's very, very multiple in what he can do. So sometimes it'll evolve week to week. Sometimes it'll look the same. But I think we felt very comfortable going into the game with the plan that we had. I think guys did a good job of understanding what we're trying to get done. And we just got to do a better job of going out there and executing it. But so far, so good this week. Great day of practice today. Just, it wasn't perfect, but in terms of the intensity and the way that we practiced and starting to understand and digest a little bit how we're going to attack the Bills. But each week is definitely different. And, one of Chan's strengths is being able to change it up team to team and make it easy on our guys mentally.
Travis?
If it's kind of wanted to go off of a couple of questions you answered already. You talked about the challenges of going between a man and zone defense and also how you want to best approach, each week's opponent. This Buffalo Bills defense has a couple of guys that really just get ball production, and Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, and Tre'Davious White. How is your approach going up against those guys in maybe more of a zone-based defense?
Well, and really this defense is just very multiple in what they do. They can do a lot of different things, but yeah, I mean, you look at some of that stuff. Micah Hyde, definitely a ball hawk. You put it anywhere close to him, he's going to catch it. Tre'Davious White, obviously having a little bit of experience playing against him. He does a great job and was rewarded for that. He's a tough guy, tough matchup. But at the same time, there are certain things when we're going, we've got to play to our strengths too. And, we've got to rely on our guys to go out there and make plays and put them in good positions. So, each week is a different challenge. They definitely have a very good, fast, experienced defense and what they're, everybody understanding what they're trying to get done. And so it's funny every week. This is a lot different looking defense than New England's was, but in terms of productivity, these guys are really tough to play against as well. So it'll be a good challenge for us.
Al?
Hi. Yesterday, a couple of the coaches talked about Tua and the learning experience that Sunday was for a rookie, his first time on the sidelines. Obviously, your primary goal has to be to win the ball game. I understand that, but looking back, what can you share with us in terms of how much you think Tua may have learned from watching you on Sunday and maybe talking to you in film study over the past day or two?
Yeah, I mean, we do. And I probably talked more on the bench than I normally would in between series, just talking with him, talking through, what I was seeing, what they were doing. And it's good for me. It's good for me to walk through those things. But I, especially in talking through some of those things, want him to kind of understand what I'm seeing and to be able to ask questions, even if it isn't a game-like setting. And I thought we had a good back and forth, good rapport on the sideline. And he asked some really good questions, and it seemed like he saw the game. He saw the game pretty decent from the sideline in terms of the stuff that we were talking about and some of the questions he was asking. So it was good, and it was a good start just to build on that communication now. Just being another set of eyes for me to be able to trust. I thought he did a nice job.
All right, we'll take one more, Safin.
Does that go both ways too with Tua? Is Tua telling you something that you saw that he saw that maybe you didn't see? And also, I did want to ask you real quick. It seemed like after Newton scored the first touchdown, you were putting on your helmet. He tapped you and smiled on your helmet. Maybe you said a joke there or something to make him laugh. I don't know. That was a really great.
I don't really remember, but
you could run like Cam did.
Yeah, I don't really remember that moment, but I mean, there's certain things that maybe I'll ask him to watch for during the game.
Yeah.
That I can get some feedback on, but at the same time, you roll a little bit too, in terms of what you can say and can't say sometimes. But there's definitely some stuff as quarterbacks. You just see the game differently sometimes. So there's some stuff I'll tell him to, keep an eye on, whether it's safety depth or corners and how we're doing out there, or 2 minutes, something that happens in 2 minutes, but he'll be a good asset.
Hi, Shaq. Obviously, this defensive front seven has guys who have stopped the run well in their past with you and Agba, Van Noy, et cetera. How hard were you on yourself after the Patriots ran for 217 on Sunday? How upsetting and surprising was that?
I was hard on myself, and as a leader, as a defensive line, period, it starts up front, and all the guys in the D line, we took full responsibility of that for not stopping the run. So I just hold ourselves accountable, and we just got to continue to do better and stop it this week, because that's what the NFL going to try to do, is start with the run and things like that.
Josh?
Hey, Shaq. A few of us talked to Sean McDermott just a couple hours ago, and he was complimentary of what you did for that team and what you brought to that defense. First, are you excited to go up against some of your former guys? And also, do you feel like it's a benefit to be able to communicate maybe some tendencies to your current teammates?
Oh, man, I'm excited to go against those guys. I talk to those guys every week, some of them about every week. So I still keep a good relationship with those guys, even the people around. So, man, I'm looking forward to this game, going against my former team, a place I've been there for 4 years out my whole career, and get the chance to play. But it's great. But I really don't know about no tendencies, because, teams change up things. It might be a whole different system from what it was when I left last year. So I can't really – I know a lot of players or things like that, but for us tendencies, nah.
Cam?
Shaq, what's up, man? So I got to know which one of your former teammates you want to hit the most on Sunday.
Man, none of them really, man. I just make a play when it's my time to make a play. Like I said, those guys, my guys. Josh Allen, that's my dude. I talk to him from time to time, but at the end of the day, it's ball, and I want to win. I want to beat those guys, but at the end of the day, it's ball. So I don't really care who I hit, man. As long as I make a play to help this team win.
Travis?
Hey, Shaq. My question's about the challenges of the zone read and what that presents as the quarterback kind of reads you on that play. How different is your approach to defending the run against the zone read opposed to a team that maybe has more of a traditional drop back passer and traditional running game?
It's basically depend on what defense we run at that time. People got different responsibility on the zone read, so it really depends on the call. But, the zone read has been around for a minute. It's a college play. They bringing it back in the league. Successful mobile quarterbacks do the zone read a lot. So you just got to defend it in the right way, and we got to get 11 hats to the ball.
Joe?
Hey, Shaq, good to see you. Coach McDermott earlier pointed out that the Dolphins have spent a lot of money to improve their defense in the offseason. I'm wondering, how close was the money in terms of the Bills' offer versus the Dolphins?
It was a little off a little bit, it was a little off a little bit. So, being either the warm or cold, so I end up coming here. But it was a close decision, I respect everybody up there. I talked to them and told them, thank them for the opportunity they gave me. But at the end of the day, I just had to make the best choice for my family.
Omar?
I want to ask you about, obviously, you got to know some of these offensive linemen and some of the tendencies, because you face them on practice on a regular basis. How much do you have to not overthink that situation?
Oh, no, like you said, man, I know a lot of these guys. I've seen them play. I was with them every day, and things like that. So, everybody got a weakness to their games and stuff. So, just help them, those guys, our guys, on stuff that we need to help us to see the stuff that I can remember those guys is doing and how those guys block, you know, and things like that. But man, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a great matchup because it's a great D line versus a great O line.
Cam?
Hey Shaq, after this past game, obviously there was a little incident with Cam with the chain, and he felt like some folks was pulling at his chain. What was your recollection of that situation?
Oh shit, I got my own chain, man. I don't even know. That's behind me now, man. It's on to a new week, for real, for real. So, that's what that situation just, yeah, that's out the window now, man. I can't look back on that situation.
Kyle?
Shaq, I wanted to ask you about the importance of stopping the run. I mean, I know it sounds real basic when you get down to it, but I'm wondering about the importance of it, not just in terms of winning and losing, but just in keeping your spirits up as the game is going on. Because I don't have to tell you, New England ran for over 200 yards. How could that not affect you mentally as the game is going on?
And yeah, it do because I mean, you're not getting in that world, that drop back zone, drop back, make them the pass. So yeah, that was kind of frustrating, but that's how the league started, man. Each offensive coordinator in the NFL was always want to do is start the game out by running, but basically you got to make them one dimensional, man. Get them in the air. So it's a big part of stopping the run. You got to take pride in it. It's basically somebody running up your gap. So after last week's performance, I took pride in it, and I put that on me. I ain't do my part and things like that. But this week I definitely do better.
All right, guys, we got time for one more. Cunha?
Hey, Shaq, I want to go back to Josh Allen. Sounds like you guys are kind of close. Where have you noticed the biggest change or improvement in his game from the time he came into the league till now? I mean, everyone criticized him for passing, but last week goes out and throws for over 300 yards.
Yeah, I seen that too. Man, that guy got better every year, you know. And I've seen that develop as the first 2 years as a player. You know, a guy he's a dog, and I said that when I was there. The guy's a dog, and that's what you need at quarterback and things like that, man. But he can grow on a lot. Just watching this film now, he looked a lot better than he was last year. 10 times better than throwing the ball. You know, the guy can already run. And just a strong physical guy, man, and just a dog, man. And I respect Josh Allen day one since he came in there, and you know we know what the challenge we got to face this week. Same thing we had to do with Cam. It's another similar type player. Pretty much, Josh Allen probably faster than Cam. So things like that. But I mean, we just gotta be ready for the challenge, man. And like I said, man, stop the run. I mean, if you start to run, the whole game could take itself.
A lot of challenging looks, and obviously every NFL game, O-line's going to come back with, wanting a few plays here or there. But, I think we, went toe-to-toe in a tough battle, had chances to win, and, just got to do, little things better. This week, a lot of good players on the opposite side of the ball, a lot of upfield, quick players, and we're going to have our work cut out for us. And we had a good start today in practice, and we're going to continue working, get ready for Sunday afternoon.
Barry?
I was wondering what you thought of two rookie linemen not giving up a sack in the opener, combined one pressure, I think, between those two, Kenley and Jackson. How impressive was that to you? And were they confused at all during the game in your conversations with them, or did they have a firm command of what you all were doing?
I thought they had great command of what we were doing. I think the O-line as a whole, going in there with all the looks that we had, did a great job from Jesse, Eric, Solomon, AJ, Rob. We're pleased with that, but didn't do enough to win, obviously, but a lot of good things to build on, and looking for a lot of improvement here in week 2.
Go to Cam.
Hey, Ted, I know you guys didn't have any preseason. I wonder how much were you guys able to, skew from your bread and butter? How expansive were you able to go into what you want to do offensively?
I think that we had, some good looks. Obviously, I'm just running the play called, and, whatever we get looks-wise, we have to execute. It's a little bit more of a traditional style of defense here this week. And I'm, we got a good start on our game plan this week, and really looking to keep moving forward, keep elevating our play every day.
Travis?
Ted, you mentioned some more traditional defense this week in the Buffalo Bills. One player on that defensive line who's not traditional is Ed Oliver because he's big and athletic. I'm just curious what you've seen on tape from him so far and maybe how you kind of go about approaching getting ready for a player like him.
Well, they have a lot of great players on that front seven. Ed Oliver has been a really, really good player since the moment he stepped into this league, and a guy that we're going to have to really prepare for and look at. And obviously, all of us are going to have to step up. And they got Jefferson as well, Phillips, Zimmer. They got a whole Murphy. They got a really, really good front with Edmonds and Milano right behind them. So it's going to be a big time game, and we're going to have, as an O-line, we're going to have to come through to be successful for this team.
Stoppin?
Ted, what were your impressions if you watch any Bills film? It seems to me like they're a team that's ready to kind of take the next step and get back to the playoffs.
Well, I mean, geez, the impression I get, everyone wants to make the playoffs. I think they've been, obviously really good for a long time. This division's obviously got shaken up a little bit this year. So there's a lot of, people vying for that spot. They're coming to town in our first home opener at Hard Rock. And, we're going to need our best performance when it counts the most Sunday afternoon.
Hi, Kyle. I guess it was a little surprising you didn't play every down last week. Was that because of the hand injury? Was a reason given to you as to why you weren't in there every play?
I'm going to let you come up with a story on your own on that one.
Travis?
Hey, Kyle, it's good to see you, man. My question is about the challenges that presented by the zone read on the offensive side. As you're trying to kind of read your keys, how much can that little delay as the quarterback rides that mesh point out impact your ability to make those reads of those keys?
That's a good question, Travis. Obviously, everyone thinks they're a football coach nowadays and thinks they know what your assignment is. But I was playing my assignment, taking my responsibility away in the game. Obviously, it switches depending on what play they're running. And just was trying to do my best. And I think the more and more we go over it in practice and the guys get on the same page, the more and more we'll get better at it. Cam Newton had a little success, and I feel like we took it away, but then there were other runs that he started to create a little bit more. So hopefully we can limit those this week against Josh Allen, because we know that they're going to probably do it because they were successful against us. So we got to do a better job as a group. I got to do a better job, and hopefully we can get this QB run taken care of.
Steve?
Kyle, will it help to have fans in the stands Sunday, even if it's only 13,000 people?
Steve, that's a good one. I actually like the fact that fans are going to be allowed. I hope they are allowed more and more to get back. Excuse me, I should say, I hope fans all over in the stadiums that NFL teams are at can go back to a more normalized. Obviously, I want to be safe and wear masks, but just to have that for them and for us, I think it's going to be cool.
Omar?
I want to ask you, does it help when you're going against a similar quarterback back-to-back? I mean, in terms of building on what you guys did right and did wrong last week?
Yeah, I think anytime you get a chance to see how a quarterback runs and does certain things and certain plays, you get a better understanding of how to defend them and how they were attacking us. And I think we'll be ready for all of those this week, because we had a good challenge the first week. And Josh Allen's just the biggest problem with Cam Newton running the ball.
Cam?
Hey, Kyle, I guess just piggybacking off that, you've been in the AFC East before, so you played Josh a few times. What are you sort of the similarities and differences in defending Josh versus defending Cam?
I don't want to get into the comparison, but just his growth each and every year has been big. You can see his strides, his reads getting better. You know, everything about his game's getting better. And, you know, Dayball and I'm going blank on the head coach. Forgive me, don't write a story about that. But, yeah, McDermott, there we go. McDermott, they've done a really good job with his growth and development. And, you know, I continue to see that after week 1 this year. And we just got to do a good job. They ran him a lot. You know, he actually threw a bunch too. I think he threw 46 times against the Jets, which was a lot. And he also made plays on the ground. So he's making strides. I don't know why I went on a ramble. That was stupid, but whatever.
Adam?
Kyle, the sense I got from your earlier answers is you're kind of aware of the criticism that this defense has taken since the Patriots game. A, do you think it's warranted? And B, why are you convinced that we're not going to be writing the same thing in a week from now?
Yeah, I mean, we gave up 217 yards rushing, so we should get criticized. That's not good enough. We got to do better, and I hope we do better, practice better, do everything better this week, and put a better performance out on Sunday for the fans, in which they deserve, and for each other, because we hold each other to a high standard.
Joe?
Hey, Kyle, in past games against the Bills, you've had success sacking Josh Allen. You've had success forcing Josh Allen to fumble. He's a guy who will fumble. He fumbled twice in the first game. How aware are you and your teammates of which quarterbacks are more susceptible to fumble? And does that approach how you attack the ball?
I think you want to attack the ball as much as you can playing any quarterback. They usually have one hand on the ball, so you want to put the pressure on every quarterback when you get the chance. Josh Allen is a target for that, and we're going to try to do everything we can to get the ball back into the offense's hands.
Take one more, Safid.
Hey, Kyle, we were unable to ask you about the post-game interaction with Cam after the game. Just kind of what happened there. It seemed like you were kind of trying to mediate. You were a little bit more cordial than some other players. What kind of happened in the situation there at the end of the game?
Yeah, it was just good game, keep it moving. Yeah, they won.